To my left is the all-new 2026 ES. Well, actually, this is not the ES, this is the new ES, but this concept gave a lot of inspiration to Lexus when designing this 8th generation. Now, the ES was released back in 1989 alongside the LS platform, and both of these have been in the Lexus lineup since then, so over 30 years. So for this 8th generation to be built on a whole new platform and electrified is a massive deal. And luckily we're looking at it today and seeing exactly what has changed. Now on the front, it's going to be all new. There's going to be that L-shaped headlight design that is really accentuating the point where this grille comes to, or I guess lack thereof grille. Now the lower grille is there to cool some of the batteries and some of the components within it, but the headlights are going to be this L-shaped in the front as well as L-shaped out in the back. As you move around to the side of the vehicle, there's going to be some things you're going to notice that really make this the luxurious vehicle that they're after with the ES platform. Now, 19-inch wheels are going to be standard. These are going to be the optional 20-inch wheels, so they're going to be the bigger version, but 19s are going to be standard across the trim lineup. Now, quickly, let's go over how these trims are going to be laid out. There's going to be the ES350H, which is going to be a hybridized platform. There's going to be ES350E that is going to be front-wheel drive only, and an ES500E, which this is, and that is going to be all-wheel drive, giving you the best performance as well as the most amount of horsepower. Now, as you move around the side, you're going to see that gloss black accent. It's kind of like a simulated vent, and that goes from the front door all the way to the back. You have these sunken-in, odd-shaped door handles that took me just a slight second to figure out. Now the back is going to get a full LED treatment with that LED bar running from the side of the vehicle around the rear trunk lid and all the way to the other side, encompassing that Lexus spelled out like you found over there on the RZ. Your reverse lights and reflectors are going to be found in the bottom corners, really accentuating the width of the vehicle. Lots of strong body lines, and right here you're going to see the trim that the vehicle is. So this one is the ES500E all-wheel drive. Now, even though this is the fully electric ES500, we're going to take a look under the hood and see what is hiding, because sometimes if there's not a cover, you're going to see all the electronics, which I am not a fan of. But on this one, you do not get that. It is a fully plastic covered area. Obviously, you have the doors for all of your liquids and 12-volt battery. But how these trim structures are going to work out is if you go hybrid, you're going to have the 2.5-liter four-cylinder with a ECVT, giving you 243 horsepower and getting you stopped to 60 in 7.4 seconds if you go front-wheel drive, or 7.2 with the all-wheel drive. Now, if you go up to the base entry for the fully electric variant, the ES350E, it's going to range anywhere from 46 to 4,800 pounds, so it's not going to be quick by any nature, getting you from 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds and have the least amount of power found on the ES platform at 220. That is, however, going to be the most amount of range at 300 miles. If you go for the ES500 like we have here, you're going to be looking at the most amount of horsepower, getting you from 0 to 60 in about 5.4 seconds and giving you not necessarily the most amount of range, but a respectable amount given the fact it is going to be all-wheel drive as standard and have the most amount of horsepower. So range is going to be in the mid 200s. So nothing necessarily to write home about, but it is going to give you the best of both worlds. All right, now for a closer look at the interior. This is a very nice place to be, and here in the ES, this is going to be standard luxury, and that's what you're going to want out of a vehicle that's going to cost a pretty penny, but also something that fits in the luxury class. So here on the door panel, you're going to see that bamboo insert with LEDs shining down on. As ambient lights are going to be standard, you're going to have a lot of different colors to choose from, and that's going to change the mood and the feel within this cabin. Nice quality materials. This is going to be a synthetic leather, but that ambient lighting carries on. I don't know if you can see that. Let me take the light away so you can see it just a little bit, but that Mark Levinson speaker is going to have ambient lighting as well. On the dashboard, there is going to be haptic touch buttons for your position memory on the passenger side, as well as the same way over on the driver's side. Now, your air vents are going to be right in the middle of the dashboard. The upper is going to be the airbag. The lower is going to be a harder touch plastic. And right in the middle, take that light away again so you can see, but there is going to be an LED light flowing from side to side. Now, if I span out a little bit, right front and center on the dashboard is going to be your 14-inch infotainment system. Now, that is housing an all-new software that Lexus is using that's going to really make the user interface a lot more intuitive, as well as easier to update in the near future. You're going to have haptic touch climate control buttons, camera buttons, and all of your volume up and down there on the dashboard, vents, power button, and a dual Qi wireless charger. Now, if you scroll down here, there is going to be a gear selector: drive, neutral, reverse, and park. If you slide this back, this is going to be a two-part cup holder, camera button, and what you're going to see a lot in the Toyota lineup is a center console that opens from both sides. Now, if you look at the steering wheel, this is going to be housing that new Lexus logo you're going to find on a lot of the EVs. That's spelling out Lexus nice and bold so you know exactly what you're driving. On the left side, that's going to be controlling that 12.3-inch information display up above your steering wheel. And on the right side, that's going to be controlling your adaptive cruise control. Now you're going to see a little bit better over here on the driver's side, that ambient lighting really lighting up that bamboo nicely there in the speaker as well. And to get out of the vehicle, there is no door handle. You're going to push this button and it's going to electronically open the door for you. So you press that and get out of the vehicle. Now, Travis, if you want to hop in that front seat, I want to see how you fit up there and see if it's comfortable for you, because since this vehicle is going to be 3 inches longer in the wheelbase and 6 inches longer in overall length, there's going to be a nice flat floor because of that electric platform that the TNGA platform is. You're going to find a lot of space. How does it feel up there?
Yeah, there's a lot of room up here. I have some headroom. I have lots of leg room. I had to slide this forward. This seat is pretty adjustable, so I can go up or down. I usually like to take it down, but yeah, the space up here is pretty nice.
You see that your seat position memory is haptic touch on the dash. Isn't that interesting? I've never seen that before, have you?
No, I don't think I've seen it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but it's nice and easy to get to. It's not buried in the door where you have to put your hand at a weird angle or anything like that. So, and as far as the illumination goes, I think it blends in pretty nicely with everything else. So not a bad placement.
The lighting is really subtle. It's not crazy. This bamboo almost looks like this bamboo is lit up, but it is going to be backlit as well as some ambient lighting following the door line going all the way to the back. Now, if you want to hop in the back seat, I want to see how you fit back there, because this back seat is highly customizable depending on what trim you go for. So this one is going to be the 500E, which is not going to get the executive package availability because of the all-wheel drive motor in the back. How is it back there?
Well, sitting behind myself, I have tons of legroom. This is a very large sedan, which means you have a lot of extra space here. We do have the moonroof, but unfortunately, if I sit all the way up, I'm running out of headroom. But as a lot of folks know, that is not uncommon for me. I have a long torso. I'm already 6 feet tall. And if I sit just a little bit more relaxed, I can fit okay.
Can you scoot over to that passenger seat so we can see your headroom? There we go, that's a better representation.
Yeah, so if like I said, if I sit upright, I am fully in the roof. There are places that are tighter for me, but I have to just lean back, scrunch a little bit, and from here I should be okay. So what that really means is most folks will fit back here without issue.
Now that center armrest, is that nicely padded?
Yeah, let's see here. Nice and easy to pull down because you do have a little handle to make that happen. Pops out, looks like some cup holders. I think these are probably some prototypes, so that'll, there we go, take a little bit of going. We also have even just a little bit of storage back here. So I wonder what else we have, but either way, yes, nice and comfortable.
Now that center arm console is very similar to what you used to find in some German luxuries, and I'm sure some still have them. I'm not 100% familiar with those, so I can't speak on those, but having that's nice. I mean, I remember back in the day when my brother had an Audi, he had an armrest that folded down and there was a first aid kit in there. You don't find one in here, but it's nice to have that extra storage. And there is probably going to be a pass-through. Yep, there is.
Yep.
There is a pass-through going to the back of the vehicle. So if you want to bring your skis along for the ride, you can push those through there and have those inside your vehicle. You're going to have vents back here, not a tri-zone, at least in this model. There is some LED ambient lighting, USB-C, and close and open your ventilation.
Or if there is a tri-zone, it's going to be controlled through that screen. Obviously, just no controls back here, which I don't mind. It simplifies things a little bit.
Yeah, now what we don't have on the 500E, like I was mentioning, is the executive package. Now what that gets you is massage rear seats, a recline function, and heating and ventilation. Now in terms of that ski pass-through in that second row, let's open up the trunk area and see exactly what we're looking like, because this has a very coupe-like design with that sleek rake to the back end. But if you look inside the trunk, there is going to be a decent amount of space. It goes pretty far in there, and you see that pass-through housed there on that second row, and it looks like that whole second row might even be able to fold down, but unfortunately we're not able to right now. We'll just have to see on the final production model. Now underneath there is not going to be any spare tire because there is a fix-a-flat located right there. So you have the tire pump and fix-a-flat as well as your tow hook. So if you wanted to take out this foam insert, you might be able to find just a tad bit more cargo space. We don't have final numbers for this, but I'm assuming that it's going to be more or equivalent at least to the last model ES, because this is going to be 6 inches longer as well as that 3 extra inches of wheelbase.
That wraps up our time with the newest electric cars in the Lexus lineup. The RZ over here getting a massive refresh, the ES being an all new design, and let us know down in the comment section whether you are interested in electric sedan or electric crossover from Lexus, or kind of a spin-off if you're mostly excited that the ES comes in two different power configurations, ones that require a plug and ones that don't, because not everyone has that set up or is able to make that work. Maybe you do have a crazy long commute, and this would be a nice car to spend a lot of time in. Stay tuned, because we will have these at home sooner than later, or first chance we get to drive them, we will certainly keep you up to date. Nick, which direction are you heading before we sign off?
I know I'm usually an SUV guy, but I think that this new ES looks fantastic. Carries on some tradition from the old generation, but also takes a lot of inspiration from that concept over there. So you can see very similar styling, and I love that they carried that over. This is final production model. This is probably, bar none, the nicest luxury sedan in my eyes. I definitely would go for the ES.
Either way you go, it's probably not a bad direction. Again, let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you down the road.